gamer friends, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Josiah, and we are ready to roll. This is the next installment of our series, We're Late to the Party. And it's a game that we just recently played, and it's called Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Yeah, you might have heard of it. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
It actually came out in 2004 originally. Mm-hmm. And we played the third edition of the game. So that one didn't come out until 2022. So if you're counting that, it's not that old.
Right,
but it's been around for a while.
It has, yeah.
There's some differences between the two editions. I was looking to see kind of what they improved upon, what they changed since they came out with the new edition.
Right.
And it seems like the differences, like they had new art, they had new haunts. But the biggest change was the way that the haunts are introduced into the game.
And triggered, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that seems to be the biggest difference. It also talked about how it's a little bit more streamlined, maybe a little less clunky. Anyway, but we've never played the original. We've only played with the third edition. So this is our opinion on that one.
And we got to play this. This isn't a game that we own.
Correct.
We got to play this because our soon-to-be son-in-law, Talon, has it.
Yes.
And came over with our daughter, Michaela, and we played it at 4 players.
Yes.
And had a blast.
So what do we like about the game? What were your first impressions? What did you like about the game?
First of all, my favorite part about the game was the exploration part of it. Mm-hmm. The opening up new tiles and new rooms and exploring and getting to find secrets and omens and treasures and things of that nature. So that was probably my favorite part about it initially, and then I'll talk about a little bit later what maybe my favorite part was after that. But that was my initial thought. Okay,
so I absolutely agree with you on the exploration part. That is a fun part. I just like that in games in general when you're like, you don't know exactly what's coming next and you get to flip it over. We've talked about that in Clank Catacombs, and I've seen it in a few other games as well, but there's that exploration where you're trying to figure out, okay, what's coming next.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed that. I like the fact that it's a co-op game until it's not a co-op game.
Yeah.
And that's a fun element. Like, you're like, okay, until the haunt comes out, and then we get to see what happens.
A secret, what do they call it?
Like a hidden traitor?
Hidden traitor, yeah. It could be a hidden traitor, but ours didn't end up being that way.
Yeah. But it did turn out to be like 3v1.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. So you never know exactly how the game is going to end up, and that's a really neat idea of not knowing what it's going to turn out to be.
I love that. What was really fun about our playthrough is when the haunt started and it turned to 3v1, we got a kind of a big leg up and like right away.
Yes.
And it looked like we were going to win easily, like coast into a win. But then everything changed.
Yes.
And we could not win to save our lives.
Yeah, the dice were against us, and all of a sudden we couldn't do anything. We kept trying, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, and literally, like we lost.
Yes, we did.
The monster won.
Yes.
So anyway, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game.
Which is one of the other things I really liked about the game is that there could be varying objectives.
Yeah.
So whereas the three of us had a certain objective, the one that turned into the haunt ended up having a different objective. And so that's really fun when you're competing against varying objectives, I guess.
And the haunt has secret objectives.
Correct.
That the other 3 don't know about. So we're all sharing knowledge and even the haunt person gets to be in on that a little bit, but the haunt has secret objectives that we don't know about.
That's right. And I wonder if it's like that with all the scenarios. It would be fun to play through a few of them and see kind of how the different ones work.
Right.
And if it changes a lot from game to game. You guys might already know that, so you can let us know.
Right.
But I would be interested in seeing that.
Absolutely. What do you think it lacked?
So here's what I thought. I wanted to do more on my turn.
Yeah.
That was part of the thing that I felt like the game lacked, because it felt like my turn was super fast, but I didn't get to do much. So it was like, if I got to explore and turn over a tile, that's really exciting. Maybe I get an item or something, and then that's it. I just turn over a tile and get my item. And I felt like I wasn't even able to use my movement a lot because I wanted to explore.
Right.
So I just felt like I wanted my turn, I wanted a little bit more oomph to my turn, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say it was that way a lot at the beginning and then got better as the game went on.
It did get better.
Because you've explored more and then you get to do more. But yeah, I would say the same thing is that I would roll, 3 dice for my movement. And one time I got 6, right? But then I'm exploring a room and I go 1 movement,
exactly.
and so it does feel unsatisfying at the beginning.
Yes.
Like I said, later when everything's kind of explored and then you get to move around a bunch, you get to move into several rooms and avoid things and go specifically to this one place or run from the haunt or whatever. It gets more fun and more satisfying for your turns, but at the beginning it's unsatisfying.
Yeah, that was my other thing that I thought of, is that it was just a little bit of a slow start to the game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know when the haunt was going to happen. You don't know that until you pull so many omen cards or something. And then, so you don't exactly know when the haunt is, which I like that idea, but that meant that it was a little slow going at the very beginning of the game.
Right.
So I would say those were the areas that the game lacked.
Okay. So let's give our ratings for the game.
Okay. So I've been going back and forth, honestly.
Okay.
So because, we have our rating for an A game is great.
Yeah.
And our rating for a B game is good.
Right.
And I would say this is in the upper part of a B range game for me.
Yeah.
But I could see this moving up if we played through several other scenarios and got to see how other things work, because I could see that changing, although it could go down too after doing that, but I could actually see it changing and going up because I want to see how other haunts do and like what else you can do with the game. So I'm actually very interested in playing this game again.
Yeah, for sure.
What are your thoughts?
So I think there's enough in the game for me. I'm initially right in the same range as you, like a B+.
Okay.
But I think there's enough there and enough potential that it would probably be an A game for me. Okay. Maybe even just an A- game, but an A game. I really do think that is the exploration, the secret exploration, that I love so much. And I think, like you said, with so many different variables that could change the game to something different, I think it could easily be an A game for me. But as of right now, first playthrough, I'm going to give it a B+.
Okay, so we agree on the rating.
We agree.
All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
And tell us down below in the comments, if you've played this game, what you would rate it. Tell us what you like and what you dislike. We want to hear about it.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.